students, let's put it with the genders and identities. How are you all doing? This is a little room tour review type thing. I'm currently in the Premier Inn in Slough something, I don't know. I'll put the address and shit a bit. I know it's on Windsor Road, that's all I know. Because me and my middle one are out somewhere tomorrow. So yes, before I get into an actual room tour, I have a little bit of a rant. Now, anybody that knows me knows I have mobility issues, and I like to book a hotel with parking either on site or very, very close by. You know, like 30-second walk type thing. Now, I'm also one of these people that like to double check and triple check and quadruple check, and yeah. I mean, I must have Google mapped the how to get here and walked it on Google Maps on my computer, God knows how many times, to make sure I knew where I was going. And I still went the wrong way because my sat nav was telling me a different way, and I got in the wrong lane at the roundabout and I was fucked. But anyway, got here eventually. Took about 2 hours, 20 minutes ish to get here, so not too bad from Bristol. Traffic on the M4 was a bit shit, but it's a bank holiday Monday. I had no idea what it was going to be like today, like travel wise and stuff like that, but we're here. Now, rant time. When I booked this hotel, there is a car park directly behind the hotel. Now, yes, the website says there is no on-site parking, but the website also says the car park behind has specific spots saved for people staying at the Premier Inn, right? Which is why I booked it, because I thought, oh, parking literally next door, like 30-second walk away from the hotel, right? So I thought, okay, cool. Got here, pulled up, shutters are down. There's cars inside, but shutters are down. I'm like, well, how am I supposed to get in? So I parked up in like a loading bay where other cars with permits were parked. Went in, and the woman said like, oh yeah, no, the car park's it's a 2-minute drive, but you literally go out and around and double back on yourself, and there's another car park on Herschel Street or whatever it was round the corner, right? And then it's about a 2-minute walk from there to the Premier Inn. So I was like, no, that's not what I booked. That's not what I wanted. That's why I specifically chose this one. There's a travel lodge down the road that has on-site parking, right? But this one was a bit cheaper, you know, and money being what it is at the moment, I went for the cheaper option, thinking, oh, you know, hotel parking there. On Google Maps, it actually says that there was free parking there for people at the Premier Inn after 6 o'clock at night, right? On Google Maps and stuff like that. And it says it's a car park for the Premier Inn. On the fucking Premier Inn website, it says, yeah, there's no on-site parking, but here's the car park, which is the one right next door to, right? So I'm sort of trying not to argue with the woman because it's not her fault, but she's saying, well, on the website, it says there's no on-site parking. I said, yes, but the website also says the parking for the hotel is right next door, which apparently now, for the past year, so Premier Inn, you need to update your fucking websites, because I am not happy with this, right? She said it's not been there for over a year. Well, I'm sorry, the Google Maps that I looked at was like pretty fucking recent. Anyway, she says it's not been attached to them for over a year. It's now private for the people in the flats next door. Well, it doesn't say that on their fucking website. So, found this car park. It's a fucking multi-story car park. Okay, it locks at night. No idea how much it's going to cost. And she said roughly £10 to £12. I knew I was going to have to pay for parking, but I was not expecting to fucking walk from that distance and be in a... Anyway, I'm not happy with the fucking car parking. And again, like I said, I'm the sort of person that double, triple, quadruple checks where I'm going. I was checking it last night. like checking the rooms. The website says the rooms have showers. I have a room with a bath. I can't get in and out of a fucking bath, so bang goes my shower now. I can't do my hair. Fucking angry. So yeah, I'm parked somewhere I don't want to fucking be. I have a bathroom that I can't fucking use. One, I had trouble logging in with the Wi-Fi as well, even though I've paid for the fucking ultimate Wi-Fi. Like, I am so angry right now that this is not what I booked. But anyway, right, fuck that. I'm gonna have a cup of tea and then I'll do the rest of the room tour. Anyway, you come in the door, the fire instructions. We're up on the 3rd floor, room 310. Got a little pee-pee hole. That's a typical thing. Put the card in to activate the lights, which we forgot to do. I was like, why aren't the lights going on? Well, I needed a pee. But anyway, somewhere to hooks to hang stuff. Decent mirror. One thing I will say is they at least have a hairdryer. Not that I can use it because I can't wash my hair. But anyway, and I do like these lights. I do like the lights. Ooh, around the mirror. Oh, look, there's me. I'm using my phone. I'm not used to recording with a phone. I need to get another vlogging camera is what I need to get. Anyway, bollocks to that. Right. Somewhere to hang your coats. The only chest of drawers type thing there is that drawer there. Let's have a look in the bathroom. Oh, a bit blurry. Focus, you bugger. Right. Toilet. Big mirror, sink, huge bath. There is no way on earth I'm going to get in and out of that bath. Towels, what are the towels like? Oh, they're quite soft. Oh my God, that's sandpaper. That's sandpaper, but that one's quite soft. Anyway, reuse your towels, yeah. They do have the Bayless and Harding as well, which is really nice. That smells really nice. For the shower gel and the handy soapy stuff there. But yeah, little bin and whatnot. And I hate these. I want a toilet roll. These things, you pull them out and you get a massive handful. And then you're trying to put them back. Or you pull them and they rip. And yes, anyway. Right, what else? We've got, there's a Warren there, but he doesn't come with the room, I'm afraid. Does this light work? Excuse me. Oh. That light doesn't work. Anyway, bedside lights, the thermostat-y Dewberry temperature whatnot-y thingy, which I've got switched off because I don't need it. No USB ports. I don't know how old this hotel is. No USB ports, but you've got your lights, you've got a plug there, bed, Warren, TV, desk. Nice sized desk though. I will say it's a nice sized desk. And again, you've got this is how old the hotel is. Look at that there. Who the fuck uses these now? Nobody uses them.
There's a USB port.
Yeah, there's a USB port. One. You should get them by the hotel thing. Another plug socket over there, which is handy. Tea, coffee, shitty glass things there. Is that your vape? I was going to say, what the fuck's that on the...
That was my vape.
On the table, the coffee table. Anyway, some 3-in-1 coffees. The usual tea bags, sugar, which is never enough. What's the inside of the kettle like? Oh, actually quite clean. Quite clean. I am impressed with that. Bin, carpet. Looks like it's seen better days. There's all various stains and stuff. A chaise longue. There. Little tables. And again, the same sort of pluggy sockets there and the light. And here's the view. Here's the view from the window. The police station opposite. The fucking police station opposite. So, yes. There's a Tesco Express that way. There's some other shops that way. There's about 10-minute walk that way. There's a big shopping centre and stuff. But yes, car park. Wonderful. Yes. So there's the room tour of the Premier in Slough. I don't know if it's central, whatever the fuck it's called, I don't know. But I am not happy with the parking. But anyway, that's the obligatory room tour and rant and stuff. Don't forget to do the usual YouTube bollocks, like, subscribe and share and oh, whatever fucking shit. I don't know, do what you want. I'm not your mum, I don't care. Well, I do care because I would like to get to 500 subscribers. But I don't know if that'll ever happen at this rate. But anyway, you all take care and I'll catch you in the next one. Oh, before I go, I like the art. Goodbye. Bye. Anyway, all of that being said, let's talk about the rest of the stuff. Right. We did end up going downstairs for an evening meal. And it cost about 50 quid, which wasn't too bad. I had fish and chips, big battered fish with chips, lovely big piece of fish, very well cooked, delicious. Chips, could have done with a few more, but they were okay. And I had some bread and butter. The downside was the butter was so hard, it was like it had been in a freezer. I had put a piece under the fish to melt the butter so I could butter me bread. Right. Then Warren had a mixed grill, which was a piece of steak and a bit of chicken and a bit of gammon and some sausages and the chips and the usual that you get with a mixed grill, which again, very nice. Now, one thing I will say, and I cannot fault the staff on this, cannot fault them at all. Got there, said, have you got any allergies? Warren said, yeah, allergic to peanuts. They were, all right, well, here's the bump out of the folder that, you know, this is what has peanuts in or may have peanuts in, blah, 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 blah. So go careful what you're ordering, basically. They also hand washed separately his cutlery because there was cutlery in a pot on the table, right? So they hand washed his cutlery separately. And obviously it's cooked to order anyway, so we had to wait a little bit longer. But yeah, could not fault the staff on that. Saying that, we then went down. I'd already pre-booked breakfast. So we went down for breakfast. And again, they asked about allergies. Freshly did his, because it's like a buffet. And you go up and you grab whatever, and then you sit down. They cooked his specifically separately. And we could actually see into the kitchen at the back. So we was watching them cook it there and then. So, and he had a little allergy flag, as you can see on the picture there. It's got a little stick in it that says allergy on it for him. So yeah, again, can't fault the staff on that. However, because Warren's was cooked fresh, his was lovely, right? Don't know how long. When we got down there was about 4 people there that had just finished and were leaving. So the food had been out a while. Couldn't eat the hash browns. They were like, I could have wedged a door open with them. They were brick hard. The bacon was dried out as well. Sausages were nice. And the mushrooms were a bit cold. Same with the scrambled egg. It was a bit cold. While I was eating, Warren said she's just put out some black pudding. So I ran up and grabbed the 2 pieces of black pudding that they just put out fresh cooked, which I then gave Warren a piece as well, when his came out. The toaster was okay, but it's one of those where you've got to keep an eye on it. Yeah, you either got it like hardly any or burnt, so you've got to keep an eye on these toasters when you're using them. No jam. They had blackcurrant, they had apricot, they had marmalade, they had Nutella, they had Marmite, they had all sorts, but no strawberry and no raspberry jam, which is my favourite. So I just had a bit of toast with some butter on. What else? They had all sorts of other stuff there, like see there, you can get a rough glimpse of what's there. You've got your basic coffee machines and your fruit juices, and they had like yogurts, but it wasn't separate tubs, it was in a big dish, and because it was outside it wasn't covered. Same with the fresh fruit there, it wasn't covered and that, and it was a bit like yeah, but didn't want to eat that. So but yeah, and also they didn't, the croissants and the pain au chocolat were cold. It was like they had, I don't know how long they'd been out or if they hadn't been heated up in the first place, but they were very cold and very dry. So Warren's breakfast was brilliant. Mine, not so much so. But like I said, can't fault the staff with his allergies and stuff like that. So let's come to scores. Right. The room, typical Premier Inn. So it was clean, it was okay, it did what we needed it to do, so I'm going to give the room an 8 out of 10. Facilities. Now, again, typical Premier Inn. They had vending machines, they had a bar area, they had like where you can sit and eat your food and your breakfast and stuff like that. So that bit, fairly good. But the fact that on the website, and now on the website it says chargeable off-site parking, but it doesn't say how far away it is. And that's what I have the issue with. So for that, for facility, it gets a 5 out of 10. It gets a 5 out of 10 for that. Sleep. One thing I will say, I do love Premier. I do like their beds. Usually they're usually very comfortable and not. You get the odd like 1 pillow's not enough, 2 pillows is too much, and what have you. Plus, I was sleeping in the same bed as Warren, but you couldn't open the window, and the aircon, we switched it off because the minimum temperature would have made the room warm, and even then the room was still too warm. So we were both sweating in the night, and so didn't get that much of a sleep, but the bed was good, so I'll give that a 7. That gets a 7 out of 10. Staff. Oh, like I said, I can't fault the staff. Apart from the woman who was slightly argumentative when I was trying to check in when I was talking about the car park. So yeah, the staff get a 9 out of 10. Staff get a 9 out of 10. They were absolutely brilliant, especially with ones that managers. Price. Right, well, it cost me £44 for a double room for the night. I had 2 breakfasts, which were £10.99 each, something like that. Hang on a sec, let me pick up my bit of paper. So, my piece of paper, got it written down, yay! Yeah, right, so yeah, the room was £44 for the night for a double room. 2 breakfasts at £10.99 each was £21.98. I also paid £5 for the premium ultimate Wi-Fi. So the total for one night was £70.98. So price wise, it's a Premier Inn, decent food, but I was not happy with the breakfast. So I think price wise it gets an 8 out of 10. So that comes to a total of, she says, quick maths, because I wrote this down. She says, right, that comes through a 37 out of 50. So yeah, would I recommend the place again? Yeah, it's good staff, decent area, not too far away from stuff, but be warned about the car parking. So yes, that's my scores. A total of 37 out of 50 for the Premier Inn, Slough Central on Windsor Road. But anyway, you all take care, and I'll catch you in the next one. Oh.